A 27-year-old tech worker in the San Francisco Bay Area recently sparked a polarizing debate on Reddit by sharing their financial breakdown. Earning $150,000 a year, they described a life of relative ease. This diagram details exactly how a single renter handles that income. The $150,000 splits cleanly into taxes, modest living expenses, and a high volume of retirement contributions. For one person, the numbers appear to align perfectly. The response from older users and parents was immediate, noting that the financial picture shifts when a family of 4 is involved. Adding daycare for 2 children subtracts roughly $25,000 in post-tax cash from that same budget. Critics often point to lifestyle creep, assuming that high earners claiming to be broke are simply overspending on luxury vehicles. However, commenters pointed out that even a standard RAV4 and a basic family cell phone plan can quickly erode whatever surplus remains. The gap between this high salary and the persistent feeling of insolvency suggests a burden that goes beyond individual spending habits. It points toward a set of underlying costs that the initial budget breakdown didn't fully capture. We can track this deterioration starting with the gross income of $150,000. Before any household bills are paid, a substantial portion is redirected toward federal taxes, state taxes, and family medical premiums. When we add a mortgage for a modest house and standard full-time childcare, we see a violent compression of the take-home pay. The remaining disposable income is squeezed into a sliver that leaves very little for unforeseen expenses. This lack of margin becomes even more precarious when you factor in retirement. In 1978, the creation of Section 401k shifted the burden of saving for old age from the employer to the employee, changing the long-term math for every American worker. The IRS allows individuals to defer a portion of their pay into these accounts, either on a pre-tax basis or through an after-tax Roth option. For 2024, the government has capped these personal contributions at $23,000. Financial experts describe maxing out this $23,000 limit as a necessity. Without the safety net of a traditional pension, this level of aggressive saving is the only reliable way to avoid poverty in retirement. This makes the 4 decades away. The total amount required for a safe retirement is still much in individuals. This creates a direct collision between 2 financial realities. Families must fund a high-cost household today, while simultaneously building a multi-million-dollar asset pool for tomorrow. The stress felt by a 6-figure earner is a logical response to this situation. They are facing 2 intense capital requirements that are effectively working against each other. This dynamic leads to retirement spend-down theory. Families falling behind their multi-million-dollar goal face a difficult ultimatum: invest aggressively and accept higher market risks, hit the impenetrable wall of fixed costs attempting to save more, or permanently lower their standard of living. These options offer no clear victory. They only offer a choice between increased risk, impossible savings targets, or a long-term decline in living standards. Returning to the 27-year-old's budget, the perspective changes when we look at the requirements awaiting them in the next stage of life. A salary of $150,000 remains a significant income. However, the data suggests it is no longer sufficient to bridge the gap between the current costs of a family and the future requirements of retirement. Balancing this equation has shifted entirely onto the individual. Each worker is now tasked with pushing a growing stone sphere up an increasingly steep incline. The feeling of being broke on a 6-figure salary reflects the reality of an economic system that demands citizens privately finance 2 lifetimes simultaneously.